For me, thank you. Welcome. My name is Chris Holloman, and I'm the 31st president of Centenary College. Welcome to this wonderful 194th academic year commencement. Please join the Centenary Choir in singing the national anthem and remain standing for the invocation by the Reverend Lindy Roderick.
Will you please join me in an attitude of prayer? God of wisdom, God of mercy, we are jubilant and joyful that today is here. Now, today is the day. Hallelujah. We acknowledge in all humility that all wisdom and knowledge comes from you, O Lord, and we give you the glory. Bless these graduates before us today who have dedicated the last 4 years, some more than that, in the pursuit of their dreams and in their desire to fulfill their calling in this world. Honor them, Lord, with the courage and confidence that comes from a job well done. Bestow on them all the blessings of plenty for their determination and their fortitude. Shower them with abundance, in that their perseverance and persistence has prevailed. For the source of our strength and our success, we give you thanks, and we celebrate today in the name of all we consider holy. Amen.
I should please remain standing and join in the singing of the hymn. The words are printed in your program.
No
be seated. A reading from the Hebrew Bible, the prophet Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 12. For you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. This is the word of God.
Thank you, Dr. Hobson, the wonderful Centenary Choir. Also, thanks to the Wind Ensemble under the baton of Tom Hundemer for our music today. Welcome to our celebration. We today honor the entire Centenary community. We have wonderful guests. We have members of the Board of Trustees, both before me and behind me, our faculty and staff, friends, families, mom, dads, guardians, and grandparents. For all the people that made the success of these students possible, please rise and be recognized. Students, recognize your friends, family, and colleagues. We have many Centenary alumni here, and you'll get a chance to stand up later. But most importantly, of course, we have the class of 2019. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah!
As you will see in a few minutes, we have 43 students receiving institutional honors. We have 4 students graduating with a perfect 4.0. We have 18 departmental honors students. In total, we will be recognizing 77 Bachelor of Arts, 47 Bachelor of Science, and 17 graduate degrees, 1 MBA, and 16 Master of Arts in Teaching. 14 students went to the trouble of earning a double major. More students are earning dual degrees, and 43 students have completed the requirements for a minor. 54% of our undergraduates are ladies and gents student athletes. 3 of those students will be presented their diplomas today as they are competing in the SCAC baseball tournament in Texas. We have 22 children or grandchildren of Centenary graduates processing today. We have 1 staff member child and 1 staff sibling graduating. We have international students. We have students from Nepal, Honduras, and New Zealand. 10 states are represented and 21 different parishes in Louisiana. Many of these students have presented at research conferences and won prestigious awards. They've been accepted into graduate schools with scholarships. They have already accepted jobs, and many of them are still exploring, which is also perfectly great. This is a great day. It's my favorite day of the year because it does represent the culmination of so much hard work and the success of so many great students. I am so proud of all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll have many opportunities to do this over the next hour or so, but I give you the class of 2019. It's now my privilege to introduce our commencement speaker, John T. Edge. John T. Edge writes about the American South. His latest book, The Pot Liquor Papers, A Food History of the Modern South, was named the best book of 2017 by National Public Radio, Publishers Weekly, and a host of others. He's also a writer and host for the television show True South, which airs on the SEC network. Contributing editor at Garden & Gun, a columnist for the Oxford American, his magazine and newspaper work has been featured in 11 editions of the Best Food Writing of the Year compilation. He has won 3 James Beard Foundation Awards, and in 2012 he won Beard's highest honor, the MFK Fisher Distinguished Writing Award. He's also the director of the Southern Foodways Alliance, an institute of the Center for the Study of Southern Culture at the University of Mississippi, where he documents, studies, and explores the diverse cultures of the American South. That center has completed more than 900 oral histories and 100 films, focusing on people like fried chicken cooks, row crop farmers, oystermen, and bartenders. He has written or edited more than a dozen books, including the Foodways volume of the New Encyclopedia of Southern Culture. He is the series editor of Southern Foodways Alliance Studying Culture, People, and Place, published by the University of Georgia Press. He has served as the culinary curator for the weekend edition of NPR's All Things Considered and has been featured on dozens of television shows from CBS Sunday Morning to Iron Chef. He serves on the faculty of the MFA and Narrative Nonfiction program at the Grady College of the University of Georgia, holds a Master of Arts in Southern Studies from Ole Miss and an MFA in Creative Nonfiction from Goucher College. Please join me in welcoming Mr. John T. Edge.
Good morning, nice people.
I'm humbled to share the stage today with so many folks I respect and admire. Thank you, Centenary College, especially Provost Jennifer Ward and President Christopher Holloman, for this transformative honor and this generous opportunity. I'm a fanboy for the town in which you graduates have matriculated. This is going to be kind of dining recommendations, this portion of my talk. We'll move on to my advice to y'all. My pantheon includes Southern-made donuts, eaten hot. They are the creamiest possible expression of pastry prowess. Lucky Liquors on Christian Street with its airbrush backwall murals. It's the diviest bar in this city, maybe the diviest bar in this state. And yes, I've been to that city called New Orleans. Here in Shreveport, I've learned that a burger from Herbie K's over on Pierre Avenue tastes best dipped, even soaked in a bowl of gumbo. If you haven't tried it, go after it. I've learned too that the duck with scallion pancakes and wok-crusted lemongrass T-bones at Lucky Palace in Bossier are boss. I'm a fan of owner Quan Lim's deep cellar of Burgundy. I'm a fan too of his kind and infectious grin. And I'm humbled by the bravery he shows while fighting cancer. I travel to eat, and I've traveled the world, and I'm here to tell you there's no other place I would rather eat right now than Shreveport, than Bossier, and specifically Lucky Palace. Set in the rear lobby of a no-tell-motel, in the shadow of a Bossier casino. If you haven't yet dined at Lucky Palace, go tonight. Your family and friends here and there will pay. If you need a table, call, ask for Holly. She's reserved some tables for any of y'all who want to go. I'll be there too. Now, let's get serious and talk about your futures. I think I understand what's expected of a commencement address. Don't bore, don't go long, in fact, go short. But calm, anxious parents and family members and friends, remind them that their investment in Centenary College was wise. My biggest responsibility, though, is to you, newest graduates of this esteemed institution. My charge is to offer useful advice. My charge is to say some things smart, maybe just one thing smart, that sticks with you, that you turn over again and again in your head, that shifts your thinking, that might aid you on your path forward. Something smart like this. The piece of paper you will receive today says you are finished with your schooling, but if you do this thing called life right, you will forever be a student. You remain a student of your people, of other people, of the past and of the present, of yourself and of your place. Now, place, that word place, reverberates in my mind. As a writer, I concern myself more than anything with place. I think and I write about how the natural environment and the built environment imprint on people who live and work at the intersection of a certain longitude and a certain latitude. I write about the American South, where I was born, where my wife and I have raised our son. The South is my place, and food is my way in. To think about those things that vex us, like racism, class discrimination, gender inequity, and those things that inspire us, art, music, literature, Instagram. My advice to you today is elemental. Regard your place. Expect more from your place than it seems able to give. Don't love your place blindly. Be critical. To truly love a place, you have to be critical of that place. That's the way I think about the South. Over time, our leaders have made many grievous mistakes. Faced with those horrors, I am profoundly angry. And yet, I love the South. I love the people of the South fiercely. in every hue of every religion. I love the music we make, the words we write, the food we cook, the stories we tell. My wish for you is that you love your place and that you're critical of your place and that you hold those two ideas in your head. Arthur Miller, the novelist and cultural critic, once wrote that to know Paris is to know a lot. He was talking about the power of regarding a place and the people who live there. With apologies to Arthur Miller, to know Shreveport is to know a lot. To know Bachelor is to know a lot. To know Centenary is to know a lot. To know a small town in Arkansas, Louisiana, or Texas is to know a lot. If you look closely, if you pay attention, if you pay heed to that place. A few years back, a magazine invited me to write a travel piece. It came with a good paycheck and a proviso. I had to agree to fly anywhere in the world on 24 hours notice. They call the feature Spin the Globe. And I spun the globe. And I landed in Kazakhstan, in Central Asia, on the Caspian Sea, 3 flights and 11 time zones away. I landed after a blizzard to find streets paved with black ice and street signs and business names rendered in the Cyrillic alphabet. I was so bewildered, I was so lost, that on the second morning in Almaty, the largest city in the country, I tried to buy a doner kebab from what turned out to be a gynecologist's office. I'm not joking. After a few more mistakes, I returned to the place where I'd eaten lunch on my very first day in that country. It was a canteen in the basement of a city market where taxi drivers ate their lunches, run by a Uyghur man named Oral, where people smiled at me and the noodles and lamb broth were tasty. I went back to that canteen every day for 5 days until that place, until Kazakhstan, 11 time zones from home, until that place felt like home. Claim a place, burrow in, interrogate it, look up to see it, look around, don't miss it. A few months back, I received a postcard from a friend. Reed Watson is the drummer of a great band out of Alabama called Bachelor. He had watched the True South TV show that we made for ESPN, and he wrote to tell me that he'd been especially moved by our Shreveport and Bachelor episode, starring Kirby Case and Lucky Palace. He wrote, "Sometimes it's good to acknowledge the frustrations of small town life. They are in essence attempts to improve it." Here was my belief system condensed elegantly. And here was my advice to y'all on the back of a postcard written succinctly. Claim a place, love a place, be critical of a place in the service of improvement and progress. So, this fall, our son heads off to college. These things I just said to you, I will soon say to him before he starts the journey that you have already completed. And so I say, onward and upward, good graduates of Centenary, onward and upward, and thank you.
Thank you, John T. Thank you, John T., for those wonderful words. I'm sure if people come up to you at Lucky Palace with your book, that you'll be happy to sign it tonight, right? So please be patient and let John eat, but go see him at the Lucky Palace. It's now my privilege to ask Provost Ward to introduce a special guest.
Those of you who saw the Shreveport Bachelor episode of ESPN's True South, hosted by Mr. Edge, will recall the music and Shreveport musings of our native daughter, A.J. Haynes. She's the front woman for the rock soul funk band Seratones, and she graduated in 2010 from a certain college called Centenary with a degree in English and also went on to earn a Master of Arts in Teaching from the college. Haynes is a singer, songwriter, poet, and activist. And listening to her sing is like going to rock and roll church, so get ready. Psalms and songs, prayers and power ballads, Haynes' music emerges from the thick of the struggle to bring a voice of hope and renewed faith in the future. Please join me in welcoming our beloved AJ back to the Centenary stage for a song from her latest record.
But don't know who to blame. I wonder how one can sleep at night. I don't know who to trust. When I saw the flash of light, save a little loving at the end of the day. I'll be strong for you in a song for you. Caught up in the middle when the crossfire fades, I'll hold on to you. Just hold on to me. I'm trying to be kind, but my dreams are paper thin, floating in the air, and I can feel the spin. Oh, lover, my heart is caving in. If they pull me over, will I see you again? Save a little loving at the end of the day. I'll be strong for you in a song for you. Caught up in the middle when the crossfire fades, I'll hold on to you. Just hold on to me. Get on your feet now. Come on, y'all get up. I need y'all's help with this. Come hop up. Hey, hey, sing la la la. Yeah, sing la la la. Hey, sing la la la. Ooh, la la la. Give your hands, sing la la la.
Thank you, AJ, for that wonderful performance. Welcome back to Centenary. You're always welcome here. Mountain College confers its highest recognition, the honorary degree. In 2011, the Centenary faculty developed and approved an inquiry and action framework organized around 3 complex global challenges of the 21st century. Commitment to meaningful engagement of these challenges through coursework, service opportunities, and intercultural experiences will position Centenary graduates to engage these challenges and lead in a changing world. These challenges are living a meaningful life, sustainability, and expanding our circles of engagement. This year's honorees are being honored for their work addressing the global challenge of expanding our circles of engagement. But I note in passing sustainability, one of our other challenges, with the exception of the cut flower arrangements, all the greenery you see here will be replanted on Centenary's campus at the conclusion of today's service. So we live out our commitment to sustainability as best we can. At this time, I'd ask the chairman of the board, Mr. David Barlow, to please escort Mr. Ed Crawford to the podium. Though he did not process into our commencement space as a member of the faculty, he has been described as a professor at heart. At this moment, surrounded by the sights and sounds and enduring traditions of this annual academic ceremony, he is in his element. Living a life that constantly seeks deep meaning, including in this particular pomp and circumstance, he delights in finding, cultivating, and sharing the diverse morsels of knowledge that excite him. And there are so many morsels, which should come as no surprise to you, his compatriots, those who have chosen the pursuit of a liberal arts education. Your years in college may have seemed an eternity, and this ceremony a culmination. But he would tell you that in 4 years you can merely scratch the surface of all that is meaningful in the world, and that this day is only the beginning, indeed, a commencement. As you move on from this place, I think he would implore you to remember the richness and depth of the life you lived here, and especially the habits of mind that you developed. He would ask you to continue to listen, to analyze, and above all, to read. Reading is a living legacy of his liberal arts education, a superpower available to all of you. It has been his avenue to meaningful engagement and connection with his fellow humans, a springboard and a passport into discussions of business, politics, public policy, Greek literature, world history, classical music, and so much more. It is in these moments of human connection and the exhilarating exchanges as knowledge and new ideas are transmitted and consumed that his individual journey has intersected with and often transformed the larger story of our city, our community, as John T. would say, our place. Because his education and experiences have also revealed to him that abundance is to be shared, not hoarded, and he has humbly and cheerfully committed himself to enriching his community, not only with what he learned as a classics major, but also with his time, talent, and treasure. He has naturally supported organizations and causes reflecting his own interests, his church, Shreveport Symphony Orchestra, and Centenary College. But the true measure of how deeply and authentically his life has been shaped by the pursuit of knowledge beyond his own lived experience is vividly revealed elsewhere in the academic and social empowerment of Volunteers of America's Lighthouse program, propelling students out of the crushing cycle of toxic poverty, and in the dignity and security families experience as they escape substandard housing with the help of the Fuller Center of Northwestern Louisiana. These are not the challenges of his own life, and a different man could easily have deemed these concerns beyond his attention or his influence. But this man recognizes that citizenship and service demands a lifelong dedication to learning. Luckily for him and for all of us, it is what he was trained by a liberal arts education to do. For passionately advocating for and modeling the benefits of a liberal arts education and making it possible for so many others to experience the thrill of new discovery, Centenary College is proud to bestow upon you, Edward J. Crawford III, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. I have to say the magic words. By the authority vested in me by the state of Louisiana and the Board of Trustees of Centenary College of Louisiana, I do now confer and bestow upon you, Edward J. Crawford, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit you to all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Thank you very much. I have to confess that I'm trying to recognize the person who was just described. Some of these things go back a ways. When Dr. Holloman was kind enough to offer me this honor, my first reaction was disbelief, looked over my shoulder a bit, and then gratitude. So the faculty, the staff, the administration, all of you, thank you. I appreciate it. Dr. Holloman said I could say a few words. I said I have always wanted to reflect upon the history of the liberal arts, starting with Plato and the Republic, moving rapidly to Cicero and his thoughts on the topic, culminating, of course, in the trivium and quadrivium of the Middle Ages. That would be where I'd stop. You can see this discussion of what it means to be free men and women, citizens, has been going on for hundreds, if not thousands of years. The conversation still persists, but we are free people. No one tells us what we have to do. We have to make our own way and live a life accordingly. So that's my parting comment to you. This isn't over yet. It's a long journey. It's been going on for a long time, and I would charge you, particularly graduates, think of your role to preserve this tradition going forward. Thank you again. I appreciate it very much.
Mr. Chairman, please escort Mr. John T. Edge to the podium. Pull up a chair, sit down, settle in. He wants to talk to you about food in the South, about Asian barbecue in Austin, West African cuisine in the Atlanta suburbs, and gems tucked away in our own community, including what he's already talked about, a dimly lit Chinese restaurant, its nooks and crannies bursting with one wine discovery after another, and a hole in the wall where you better send an advance party or you're eating that shrimp buster or Creole dunk burger standing out in the parking lot. But don't get too comfortable. In fact, prepare at times to be supremely uncomfortable with this conversation, because he knows that food is not just a guilty pleasure or even what we consume to stay alive, but instead a cultural product specific to a people and place, a human artifact that he argues is, quote, worthy of comparison to music and literature, providing a means to explore belief, creativity, power, allegiances, and differences. For our Southern people and our Southern place, this means an exploration of questions and topics that will never be mistaken for comfort food. So he writes and talks about Southern food and foodways in a way that explicitly frames what we eat, where we eat it, within the history and legacy of complicated race and class relations in the South, and the way in which food culture points to both what divides and what unites us. In this conversation, he recognizes larger implications, as he says, resolutely and broadly and importantly American, as well as deeply emotional and moral imperative in propelling him towards further questions. As he said just a few moments ago, to truly love a place, you have to be critical of it. Increasingly cognizant of what he recognizes as the taint of privilege on perspective, he has intentionally sought a new perspective that minimizes his own privilege as a white Southern man working to acknowledge the lived reality of other fellow Southerners, African Americans, women, immigrants, by learning not just about their food, but about their frustrations, their fears, and their struggles. He is willing to first accept and then testify to the fact that the ingredients that have combined to make up his life are not the same as what so many others that he has met along his way. He continues to welcome discomfort as he works to fully understand and venerate the food and culture of the place he calls home. History, context, critique, perspective, he has wielded these tools masterfully and to great acclaim, building an enthusiastic audience for his written work and a passionate alliance of champions for Southern food. But perhaps his most significant contributions have come as a result of his willingness to become the subject of his own critical inquiry, to pay down the doubts of pleasure, as he writes, owed to both those who came before him and those who toil now without recognition. In the aftermath of a recent uncomfortable conversation, he reflected, I aim to listen more and speak less. I pledge to cede what is not mine and try to understand the difference. For welcoming discomfort in the service of truth and reconciliation, for showing our students how to love our home, our people, and our food unapologetically and unconditionally, even while trying to build sturdier bridges across difference. Centenary College is proud to bestow upon you, John T. Edge, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. By the authority vested in me by the state of Louisiana and the Board of Trustees of Centenary College of Louisiana, I do now confer and bestow upon you, John T. Edge, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and admit to you all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Today, seniors, you become members of the Centenary College Alumni Association, joining many other men and women here. Many of our trustees, faculty, and administrative staff are alumni, as are others in today's audience. This is your chance. If you're an alum, please stand and be recognized. Senior class has chosen Regis Johnson as your class speaker. Well deserved. He is originally from Dallas, Texas, transferred to us from Abilene Christian University. He double majored in psychology and philosophy and has earned cum laude recognition in both disciplines. Regis was inducted into the International Psychology Honorary Society Psi Chi this past fall. Played basketball for 3 seasons at Centenary and served as captain for 2 of those seasons. He's also served the campus as resident assistant for 3 years and aims to heavily serve the community he lands in during his postgraduate career. Inducting you into the Alumni Association today will be your fellow graduate, Mr. Regis Johnson.
Man, seeing everybody here really bolsters my belief that self-made achievement is false, it's fake. And class of 2019, I gotta say something. What were y'all thinking? Y'all have voted me in to be y'all's speaker? I'm a transfer, right? An athlete, the second most intelligent person in my relationship. Shout out Nadia Jordan. Anywho, I'll do my best to send us off right. So, it's summer 2016. We're in Buena Vista, Colorado. Me and some of my closest friends, comrades, compadres, fellow trainees are getting ready to climb up a mountain. It's 14,000 feet up. Why? Good question. I still don't know. By the way, these guys aren't just any random jamokes. These are the top athletes in their sports. Professional baseball players, soccer players, D1 basketball players. And you have me, you know, probably had 3 of the most mediocre basketball seasons of a Centenary College basketball player. I don't even have one of those icy stoles that they gave the Centenary athletes this year. I'm not jealous though. I'm a trailblazer. I'm a right. So like I was saying, we're making our way up this mountain and guys are getting tired, dehydrated. Asthma's kicking in, the air is getting thinner. And our mentor, our guide keeps saying, perseverance to character to hope. Like these dudes are falling like flies, man. They're getting tired. And like I said, they're great athletes, so you would think this is strength, but perseverance, character, hope is what Brian kept saying. And so as he's saying that, we're getting up the mountain and we get up to the penultimate summit. It's about 13,500 feet. up this mountain. We've hiked, and now we're eating PB&J and bananas and talking about how we made it and how the guys are down near the back at the bottom of the mountain, near the trailhead. And we're like, dang, we got here. Started out a group of 12, now it's a group of 5. Brian looks at us and he says, you ready? And we're like, dude, what do you mean are we ready? We got 500 more feet to go. We've made it this far. Why would we stop now? But little do we know, the last 500 feet of the hike was the most difficult part. You have to boulder. Your hands are going to be stuck to the wall. There's a chasm behind you. You're heel toe next to the people you're climbing with. The next thing Brian says is, all right, be blessed. Go graduate Yale. And I'm like, what, Brian? I go to Centenary. I can't transfer to Yale. I might graduate with cum laude, but I don't know about Yale. That's a big idea. Little did I know the name of the mountain was Yale. Like I said, I don't know why we came. We didn't know what we were doing. So anyway, we get on this mountain and we're scaling, and our hands are on the wall. Guys, this is gonna sound random, but just work with me. You ever been in an elevator with somebody that's claustrophobic? It's terrifying. Fear is contagious, because this person is over here tripping, they're tripping, and you're like, okay, should I be afraid? And you're on the first floor, and you get up to the second floor, and you're still like, okay, they're still tripping. Is the elevator gonna fall down? What's gonna happen? And we get to the third floor, and now you have assumed their state of fear. Wesley knows what I'm talking about. Austin was terrified on that mountain. Austin is my cousin, and he's terrified. He named that chasm that I was talking about earlier, the chasm of doom. So this guy that we're climbing up the mountain with is terrified, and I love heights. I'm up here talking to y'all. This is kind of exhilarating. This is great. So obviously I'm here. I made it to the top of Yale, right? I got to the top, and Wesley's here. He made it to the top as well. So we got to the top of the mountain. It was beautiful. You could see Denver from there. You couldn't see Denver from there, but you could see far. And the idea, remember, like Brian was saying, was perseverance, character, hope. Perseverance is a response. It's a response to a trial. See, something that I've learned over the past year, a lot of you guys know we've gone through a hard time in my family, but about perseverance, you don't know who's in your corner until life pushes you in that corner and you look around. And when those people are up there with you, those people that came up that mountain with me, and we noticed, dang, we did this. That made the view seem like nothing. That feeling of accomplishment. Class of 2019, that feeling of accomplishment is where we're at. Oh, Regis, so all you're saying is that we're at the summit of life and everything is downhill from here. Is that what you're telling me? No, Paul, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, life is a series of peaks and declines and climbs and peaks. Life is a series of mountains. When one race ends, the next one begins. I have one question for my fellow classmates for the class of 2019. We've summited Centenary. Which summit is next? Thank you.
Thank you, Regis. I know I speak for everybody on the platform that they're glad they don't have to follow you. Madam Provost.
Mr. President.
As Regis would say, what up?
One of the things that's really exciting about commencement is that we sometimes get to honor faculty who've been with us for many, many years. Retiring from the faculty this year are Professor of Art Bruce Allen, Professor of Economics Betsy Rankin, Christensen, Professor of English David Havard, and Professor of History Sam Shepard. I have learned so much from you. I count you as my friends. I wish you Godspeed as you go on into the next phases of your life. Please join me in thanking them for a combined total of 137 years of committed teaching and service at Centenary College of Louisiana.
Madam Provost, would you please present the candidates for degrees in course?
Yes, Mr. President, I will take provostial privilege and say, class of 2019, you're the group I went to Paris with. I see you. Will all the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? Mr. President, these persons, having satisfied all requirements established by the faculty for the degree Bachelor of Arts and the degree Bachelor of Science, have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the conferment of the degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the state of Louisiana and the Centenary College Board of Trustees, I do now confer and bestow upon you each your bachelor's degree and admit to you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Bachelor's candidates, take that tassel and move it from right to left. Bachelor's candidates, you can be seated. Will all the candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching and Master of Business Administration please rise? Mr. President, these persons have satisfied all requirements established by the faculty for their respective degrees and have been recommended by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees for the conferment of the degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the state of Louisiana and the Board of Trustees of Centenary College of Louisiana, I do now confer upon and bestow you, each of you, your master's degree and admit to you all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Tassels right to left, master's candidates. Master's candidates, you can be seated. Will the marshals please direct the graduates to the platform for the awarding of degrees? I would also ask Mr. David Barlow, Chairman of the Centenary Board of Trustees, to join the President to congratulate our graduates. Before the undergraduate procession begins, I want to recognize several seniors who are not walking today because they're in Cleburne, Texas, running from base to base at the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference for baseball. Those students are Kyle Timothy Barron, magna cum laude and biology department honors, Charles Benjamin Albritton, and Cameron Jean Guin. Give them a hand and a table. Mr. President, I would like to call particular attention to those members of the class of 2019 who completed their courses of study with high distinction. I recognize now those students who have completed all requirements for their degrees, summa cum laude. This indicates that they have an overall grade point average of 3.9 to 4.0. Jaspreet Paul Aluwalia.
Oh, yeah!
Rebecca Lynn Dunn. Amanda Bell Farr. Harrison Dwayne Bowles. Ulla Edvard Granrud. Sabrina Maria Handal Andoni. Jason Joseph Holler. Emma Margaret Emil. Fatima Iqbal. Ahmad Jad Kasabali. Rosemary Virginia McMaster. Elizabeth Ann Sander. Margot Mackenzie Rowland Smith. Tavia Kendra Smith. I recognize now those students who have completed all requirements for their degrees magna cum laude. This indicates that they have an overall grade point average of 3.7 to 3.89. Caitlin Brianne Beard. Michaela M. Brantley. Olivia Rose Brignac. Dennis M. Britton, Jr. Camille Marie Chopin. Grace Ann Riley Doucet. Graham Reagan Maxwell. Michaela Lauren Maxwell Stallcup.
Congratulations.
William Alexander Morrison. Brenna H. Pearson. Alfred Joseph Thomas IV. Anthony Michael Visciati. I recognize now those students who've completed all requirements for their degrees cum laude. This indicates that they have an overall grade point average of 3.5 to 3.69. Savannah Lynn Doty. Regis Fitzgerald, Commencement Speaker Extraordinaire Johnson. Testify. Nadia Elise Jordan. Catherine Grace LeBlanc.
Choir, don't make me come up with it.
If we have to come stop this car. William Elliott McLean. Alexandra Delane Mitchell. Arpana Napani. Elena Joy Ring.
Get all those awards home?
Cecilia Rodriguez. Natalie Ann Skates. Monica Lee Sewell. Victoria Andresa Sundin. Mitchell Stewart Tarantolo. Kelsey Summer Terrell. I will now recognize those students receiving the Bachelor of Arts degree. Tessa Rianne Anderson.
Congratulations.
Taylor Thomas Bryson. John Curtis Creed Jr. Nicholas Earl Delanaville.
Congratulations. Good work.
Lauren Alexis Dillon. Zetter Brianna Donahue.
Congratulations. Well done.
Colleen Elizabeth Vernon.
Congratulations. We'll miss you.
Emmeline Claire Dyer.
Congratulations. So ready to be my first time. We'll miss you.
Seth Tristram Lamar Fountain.
Congratulations. Well done.
Lauren Nicole Jopie.
Congratulations. Well done.
Laura Christiana Giacalone.
Congratulations. Well done.
Wendy Marie Gillette.
Congratulations. Well done.
Cassandra Lynn Gonzalez.
Congratulations. Well done.
Aspen R. Hatley.
Congratulations. Well done. Oh, yeah.
Jordan Lee Hughes, joined on stage by Aspen Robertson.
Congratulations. Well done. Good to see everybody.
Catherine Arlene Hughes.
Congratulations. Well done. Thanks.
Rachel Ann Hughes.
Congratulations. Well done.
Kelsey Marie Keys.
Congratulations. Well done.
Elizabeth Metcalf Knight.
Congratulations. Well done.
John Peter LaCosta.
Congratulations. Well done.
Lucas Hunter Lawrence. Haley Ann Lawson.
Congratulations. Well done.
Peyton Noel LeBlanc.
Congratulations. Good to see you.
Henry Edward Lawrence III. Christopher Allen Maples. Traylon Jarmon Matthews. Peyton Elizabeth Miller. Amberly Brianna Nix. Zachary M. Norton.
Congratulations, well done.
Shannon Gale Orlop.
Congratulations, well done.
Landon Valjean Pate.
Congratulations, well done.
Eric Douglas Paulson.
Congratulations, well done.
Garrett John Peters.
Congratulations, well done.
Shelby Raylyn Pickett.
Congratulations, Shelby, we miss you.
Charlene Roach.
Congratulations, we miss you.
Dylan Rogers.
Congratulations, good time.
Caitlin Ari Roosley.
Good for you, we miss you.
Mackenzie Lynn Shaw.
Congratulations, well done.
Brooks A. Smitha.
Congratulations, well done.
Peter Summers.
Congratulations, well done.
Mackenzie Elizabeth Stewart.
Congratulations, well done.
Ruby Vargas.
Congratulations, well done.
James M. Walker.
Congratulations, on the 7-year.
Julia Grace Willis.
Congratulations, well done.
Emily Nicole Wilson.
Congratulations, well done.
We're pausing for a moment to recognize Celia Chamini and Camille Pirat, exchange students from the Université Catholique de Lille, who missed their graduation in France to complete their coursework this semester here at Centenary. And now our Bachelor of Science degrees, Mariam Abuzara. Nicole Swede Aldridge. William Forrester Barstow III. Lauren Ann Beadle. Wesley L. Black. Kahari Javon Carter. Louisa F. Delgadillo. Cherie Lene Groninger. Madison Lee Gill. Nicholas L. Hammond. Brandon Henri Henson. Caleb Hibbs. Braylon Elijah Hollins. Rebecca Brooke Lopez. William Alexander Morgan. Jasmine Morris. Mackenzie Gwendolyn Packer. Cheyenne Nicole Pisano. Deja J.C. Salisbury. McCree Blake Smith. Brianna Deshay Walker. Jordan Ray Whetstone. And now our Master of Arts in Teaching graduates, Janet Barsh. Lindsay Ann Bruce and her class. Christine Breeze Cantrell. Dion Wadsworth Cantrell. Susan Smith Christner. Marcy Ellen Duplantis. Elizabeth Grace Rambo. Megan Kate Hip Rome. Rebecca K. Vaca. Amanda Marie Vance. And bringing it home with an MBA, Jacob Aaron Mosher. Mr. President, I bring to you the 2019 class of 2019 in Centenary College, Louisiana.
Sit down. Please stay standing as we close these commencement exercises and sing the alma mater. We'll receive the benediction given by Reverend Lindy Broderick. Afterwards, please remain at your seats during the academic procession, and then immediately following the recessional, I invite you to join us at a reception due to weather being held across the street in the fitness center. Please join us there. God bless you all, especially the class of 2019. Please join me in the alma mater.
Go out from this place with joy. Go forth in peace and love. Savor every morsel. Cherish every moment. Be strong, be bold. Onward, Centenary.